Alright, hello everyone, we're back. Mira's here too. Hi Mira. Okay, so, Estinien. A test of will. They want only to brood in silence, to be left alone with their grief until time itself comes to an end. The sole reward for senseless bloodshed. A pain I understand and wish that I did not. What fools we were. But now isn't the time for such thoughts. The others will want to hear what we've learned. Come. Estinien, what would my coming actually help you? Also, I feel like Estinien has like a distinct lack of understanding on how, you know, arousal works. It's gonna come a lot, remind you of 3rd grade? That's weird. Also, I want to point out, the Aetheryte is yet another different, cool design. Very strange. I chanced to gain an audience with several dragons ere we returned, though I expect their tales are much the same as those you heard. With luck, they have learned something to help us devise a plan of action. Good to see you made it back in one piece. The more I see of this place, the more bewildering it becomes. Did your exploration prove eventful? Converse with any dragons? We would hear what the dragons had to share with you, even if it's no different from what they told Arianje. It would have value. Were you able to establish any meaningful contact with the dragons? I see. They wish to escape what they perceive to be a cycle of conflict. Thank you, Mira. Estinien. As for our part, I believe we are more acutely aware of our confines than before. We started by traversing the perimeter of the island to see if there might be a path leading off of it. Sadly, there was nothing to be found. There's no small amount of debris floating about. Could there not be enough to serve as a bridge to lead us elsewhere? I considered that, and so I tried throwing a stone onto a potential platform to judge its integrity, but it never reached its mark. As it crossed an invisible threshold just beyond the boundaries of this island, it vanished, only to reappear above me and fall at my feet. I would not be too quick to presume that what we see outside this space is as it appears. Which is why I returned to the Ragnarok and asked the lockers to search for a potential path. However, the ship's instruments failed to provide conclusive data on the surrounding area. Until we know more, I think it's too risky to attempt flying to another island. What Medion told us before, that emotions dictate reality here, might be the key, but I'm not entirely sure what emotion might manifest a bridge to lead us to safety. So what you're saying is we've no way forward. At present, if it is indeed emotion that governs this island, perhaps it is not Medion's, but the dragons that holds us here. They tire of conflict and have chosen a path of oblivion to escape it, or rather, they have chosen no path at all, meaning there is no way for the dragons or anyone here on this island to advance. A sound theory, disheartening though it may be. If that is the case, what recourse do we have? They are not like to be persuaded to help us. Their reasoning is built upon a history of turmoil and strife. Without irrefutable proof, the future is not as bleak as they believe it to be. Mayhap persuasion is not the answer. Medion meant to unmake us, then and there on the Ragnarok, and she would have succeeded if not for Thancred's determination. She conceded it was strong enough to overpower the despair that otherwise rules Ultima Thule, and reshape it to a degree. Perhaps it can be done again in the like manner, by overpowering the prevailing emotions. 'Twas Ultima Thule's architect, Medion herself, against whom Thancred did put himself in a clash of wills. Though I marked no leader among them, as such I did chance encounter a dragon, possessed of despair far more potent than most, potent enough mayhap to dictate the course for the others, and thus their domain to follow. He spoke but few words, carefully chosen, their tone timbre alone threatening to render my heart in twain. Challenging his desire to remain may allow us to alter the island upon which we stand. Ooh. Alas, I fear my vaunted rhetoric availed me not against his calcifying heart, but mayhap one of you will fare better? Minicat? Hi. Hey, leave the cut. Puzzle, you little shit. Then I shall guide thee. Alend, they call him, the dragon tongue, in the dragon tongue. Thou wilt find him nearby, eyes fixed upon the water. Well, what have we to lose? Let's get going. I am filled with determination at the same. I hate the pathing that they all took for that. It looked so jerked and stunted watching them walk around Estinien. Tank, control, turn, and then continue walking. He's way the fuck up there, okay. More shell dragons. Just stomping around. Doesn't look like water so much as oil. I guess it's fitting considering they said they contaminated everything. Yeah, wild quillfish appears.
He remaineth as he was when I first approached, entombed in melancholy.
I see. Perhaps I could...
I'll handle this.
So, waiting to die like all the others, are you?
Our pride is crushed and our souls corrupted. The winds are stilled and the heavens offer no comfort.
So you say. Yet your kind has found a new beginning on our star. One of you braved the expanse, bearing with him a clutch of eggs. They and their children now rule our skies, their song heard by all.
Our king? On another star? And yet, upon thee I do smell the blood of my brethren.
They were. They suffered much, and repaid their suffering in kind. Had your brethren made the selfsame choice, my family might still be alive. Yet lasting peace does not come to those who simply retreat from conflict. No, you must be willing to confront it, to stare into the face of your foe, and see yourself in him. Only then can you break the cycle of torment and tragedy. This lesson, a dear friend taught me at the risk of his life. There is no nobility in your penance. You wallow in self-pity. And after everything we've endured, we will not let you stop us.
Estinien!
Stay back!
We tire of war. We tire of turmoil. Dignity tarnished. Crimson stained. Our misery. Our shame. Too much to bear. Release us from war. From life.
This is the emotion that bars our way. The rest is up to you.
No! Not Estinien too!
There's a wind. He's opened the way for us. Sacrificed himself to remake this place, like Thancred did.
Oh, Alphino.
Come. Let us follow the wind. It will not lead us astray. He would not.
Goodbye, Estinien. I gotta go buy more company actions. I'll listen to the music though. It shifted slightly. Must this always be the price to pay for safe passage? If I had known this place would claim Estinien too, No, it's what had to be done. As by beating the mighty wings doth wind below. Where dragons may ne'er again touch the sky, he in the shade he bore shall soar free. The wind stayed the fog that covered this island, and the air. It no longer feels quite so stifling. Look, there, the wind! This is Estinien's doing, I'm sure of it. We should ride its flow and see where it leads. Got it. A powerful gale has delivered you onto another island. These other scions should arrive before long. Am I standing there to just fly in, hit me, knock me off the island, kill me? He did it! He found a way forward for us. The dragons remain trapped within a prison of their own making, lamenting the horrors of war. Yet Estinien knew them better than most. He was a man of honor and a dear friend, willing to fight to the very end for what he believed was right. And he's still fighting, Alphino, just like Thancred. Their sacrifices is why we still can survive here, why we still have a chance to stop her. Even in spirit, they're unwilling to give in to despair, and we mustn't either. Alice is right. We must press on, for their sake. That was a perfect use of Dragon Song as well. We have to keep going, even if Estinien isn't here to see it. I'm sure Alphino wouldn't want to disappoint him. Though it pains me to say it, we can ill afford to stop and grieve our comrades' passing. No, there will be time enough after. No choices have we but to march onward, lest we squander their noble sacrifices. To feign bravery with bold words is a simple matter, but without the strength of will to match, we are powerless against Dynamis. Not less than an unshakable conviction will suffice, which makes me question if I am up to the task. Roads paved, sacrifice. As you can see, the names of the quests are getting a little more distorted. As Istol and Alice said, we must continue. Notice the change in our surroundings? Perhaps this is the memory of an altogether different world. It would be prudent to learn more of it then. Tread carefully, lest we lose our footing in this sand. Also, look at that structure over there on its side. That is very cool. There's another one there. I wasn't kidding when I said this is one of my favorite zones, just by look alone. It is very, very cool. Kind of reminiscent of the Ethereal Sea in a way, but there's so much to look at. If you were worried about my vision, you needn't be. I can still see quite well. Another seemingly barren world. For mercy, the air is nowhere near as stale, but still quite dry, and the sand will no doubt prove bothersome in due time. If not for the light emitted by these glyphs, I might well have overlooked this monolith. Sand everywhere. Were it not for the violet crystal embedded in its surface, it would appear as ordinary stone. A curious script has been etched upon them. Alas, it is not a language with which I am familiar. I cannot say I recognize it either. Nor I. The dragons, from what I recall, preserve their knowledge in song and eschew the written word entirely, so we may assume this is the work of another race, one we have yet to encounter. Medion claimed the dragon's world suffered a slow death, seeking the release of oblivion. What life we find here, like as not, doth wend its way towards a similar end. What do you suppose that is over there? Guff's testicle. I'm not sure. It's hard to make out at this distance. but its surface seems to bear the same crystals as this monument. Meaning there's a chance we may find whoever built them both. We should go and have a look. Come. You guys notice this here. It's called Other One. That's fucking perfect. Sorry, an in joke. I'm trying to commit that it's better than Netherstorm, but it really is so much better. Like, they did a really good job with it. This area is called Hollow Flesh. Interesting. Here's a ghostly figure, you guys. Look at this guy. Hail, travelers. This is a most unexpected occurrence. Oh, hello there. Is this your home? Indeed it is. Forgive me, I had forgotten. An exchange of introductions as is expected when first meeting with those whom one is unacquainted. When the vibration of vocal folds was still required to convey our thoughts and intentions. Ia, I believe, was the pronunciation used when referring to our people. Though it is not entirely applicable given our present state, you are welcome to use this appellation. As for nomenclature to addressing my individual person, I believe it would be pronounced Kofkud. Yes, Kofkud of the Ia. We have encountered beings that communicate intermittently through thought, but never one that is wholly without voice. I presume we are having this conversation via the medium of ether or dynamis, as this place is suffused with vast quantities of it. Fascinating in either case. I gather your responses to my presence is positive then? That is well, for there is something I wish to ask of you. Like yourselves, we are ether-based life forms. Therefore, it may be surmised that your bodies are comparable biological composition to those we once possessed. I have a number of queries regarding your subjective perception of the five senses: sight, sound, taste, touch, and smell. In total, I have prepared 180,712,180,827. That's a rather lot, isn't it? My apologies, I have omitted a great many details necessary to understand the nature of my request. Though we dispensed with our corporeal vessels long ago, we have rediscovered a need for the flesh, and have endeavored to recreate our erstwhile forms. However, all pertinent records have been lost due to the passage of time. Take, for example, the nervous system. It is well within our power to recreate, but we have no frame of reference for sensations once experienced by our people. We may compromise our ability to interact with our physical environment. And the reason you need to regain corporeal forms? Why, to bring an end to our existence, of course. Though need is perhaps too strong a word, it would simply matter to unmake ourselves. It would be a simple matter to unmake ourselves through the use of etheric exsanguinators, but such a death seems inadequate. The traditionalists among us believe proper death requires an inescapable sense of impermanence in one's final moments. An experience only found with bodies of flesh. We should very much like to hear more of your plans. In exchange, we will answer any questions you have to the best of our ability. Such an exchange of information would indeed prove useful. I like these creatures, they're weird. Very well. To ensure efficacious exchange, I hereby invite you to our home. Yes, the abode of the Ia, where we traditionalists prepare for our demise. I presume your consent to answer questions is indicative of a tacit approval of our plans, in which case your cooperation is greatly appreciated. I must caution you, however, to be mindful of the Ia wandering the desert. Their desire for bodies of flesh could be described as overzealous. Now, if you would follow me. This is going rather smoothly, not that I'm complaining, mind. Even so, we mustn't forget their aim is oblivion, much like the dragons. Though I fail to see why a civilization so seemingly advanced would choose to unmake all they have created. At any rate, we will find no answers dallying here. Let us be on our way. Alright. Who wants to taste you? This is Midgard Summer again. What the heck is going on? Why is this game... Some strange things over there in the distance. Oh look, those dudes. So I think these models first appeared in, like, these specific types first appeared in, I want to say Ferrocirrus hard mode, but they may have been in other areas before that. That's the first one I recognize anyway, or remember. More violet-colored crystals. I cannot place my finger on it, but there is something unsettling about them. I should not be surprised their concept of a village is so different from ours, and yet... The Isle of Dragons was enshrouded in silence of the dead, yet the stillness here doth suggest the ear are, by and large, merely sleeping? Something tells me we have different definitions of the word abode. They said there would be others, but I don't know what I was expecting. Welcome to our abode. Most of our compeers, you will find, remain idle in their domiciles. Though your quizzical expressions indicate my phrasing is unclear. I speak, of course, of the violet crystalline constructs hanging from the stone structures there. These over here. You say they remain idle, but what of your work to regain corporeal bodies? An astute question, and understandable given your finite nature. We have no desire to pursue our research, for it is no longer necessary. If in our idleness we are struck by a sudden inspiration, we rise to pursue said inspiration to its conclusion. That is why I was present for your arrival, and why I continue to engage with you still. But while the others are not currently in a motile state, rest assured they would not object to you to disturb their respite. You need only cast your thoughts towards one of the crystalline domiciles to communicate. Okay. Let's go communicate, I guess. I suppose there's logic to creatures comprised of spiritual energy utilizing crystals as living spaces, but it is nevertheless surprising to see. I wonder if it's like living in a Pokeball. You cast your thoughts towards a crystalline domicile, but there's no response. You wish to speak? Very well. Pray, a moment, if you would. Might as well tune to the aetheryte while we're here. There's Grahatia, I can tell by his staff. Oriage. We seek our end, you ask? Why we seek our end, you ask? If you wish to know, I will tell you. Just a moment, I must remember. What form did I take when I last emerged? The strange moaning comes and goes, and soon fades into... I think it was masturbating. At least that one still finds some form of joy, presumably. Maybe masturbation is painful for these creatures. Kuj. Did your inquiries yield satisfactory responses? I see. If they failed to answer, then it is likely because their minds have unraveled due to prolonged idleness. They are not but concentrated ether now. Worry not. There are no others who have need of those lodgings, and they will not prove a hindrance to remain as they are. But more importantly, you said that some few did answer your request for an audience, yes? I imagine they will be with us ere long. Flesh abandoned, but further. Hofkuj languidly awaits the brethren's arrival. Oh shit, we're supposed to take a break. That's fine. I had no luck, but everyone else fared well enough. Quite a few Ia have awakened. Ah, there they are. There's only 3. Not even quite a few, it's just 3. May I introduce you to Lalak, Dudik, and Ne Nij. It has been too long, Kofkuj. I dare say Satyr 4 has since completed an orbit. Indeed, until the travelers brought it to my attention, I hadn't noticed how unraveled some had become. Travelers? Ah, of course, of course. The ones who wish to know why we seek to regain corporeal forms. The truth of the matter is as plain as to see as the neighboring systems, but my single account would fail to satisfy the requirements for scientific objectivity. Thus did I bid them to awaken you. Like what is for humans. Am I the only one who struggles to tell who is speaking? Nay, thou art not. In the absence of corporeal forms and the divergence they afford, mayhap such similarity in voice is unavoidable. By the way, Kofkuj, have you already observed the requisite custom for the travelers? That which one is expected to do when receiving guests? A matter of proper form? Ah yes, so long has it been. It had completely escaped my mind. It still does. What was it again? I can't seem to remember. Neither do I. Pity. I was hoping you would. Perhaps we can search the archives for the answer. Come now, Ne Nij. The archives have been long been frozen, lest we subject ourselves to further dolor. Surely you recall that much. Ah, of course, food. The custom is to serve food. Beings of flesh such as they must regularly replenish their ether. By contributing to their replenishment, we communicate our friendly intention. That's right, that's right. We duly invite you to join us in communal repast, after which we may engage in leisurely conversation. If we have a chance to learn something, then I see no reason to decline. Excellent. If you would care to follow, we shall feast you on the purest ether. The saint says masturbation is painful. I knew you'd make me type it. Vector, if it hurts to masturbate, you're doing it wrong. But what if I'm a masochist? I mean, I guess technically you're doing it right, but then it's not really a problem. Hi, Mira. Why are you rubbing up against my foot, you silly girl? Stop. Hey, get away from the key. Get away from the cord, you shit. This facility is where we replenish our ether. There is no particular name for it, but we traditionalists sometimes use the word restaurant. Now then, if you would take your place without your comrades, the space will soon be awash with purest ether. Please absorb as much as you like. I'm not sure how that's gonna work for us, but instead we're standing in this weird star formation summoning the devil. You brace yourself for a rush of sweet, sweet ether, but nothing seems to happen. Perhaps you need to wait longer. Okay, this is the things I don't like that they make you do, is wait 5 seconds for the stupid bar to go and then be like, oh, okay, now you gotta do it again. You brace yourself again, but again, nothing seems to happen. Just as I suspected, as meticulously as one might recreate the EA's home world, this is Ultima Thule. One cannot simply generate ether here. As recreations, our friends are oblivious to this fact, to the very truth of their existence, much like the phantoms of the recreated Amaranth. However, appearance may seem, we must ever be mindful that it is the memories of the dead with whom we deal. So, did you have your fill of ether? Alas, we couldn't absorb it. A deficiency in our forms, it would seem. Oh, how very unfortunate. May I ask how you normally replenish your ether? Through your mouths, you say? How very primitive and quaint. To think that their mouths serve not only to expel sound, but draw in sustenance besides. Such life forms have long since vanished from our systems. Though we regrettably could not partake of your magnificent feast, rest assured we feel your welcome most keenly. In the course of acquainting ourselves with your sophisticated ways, however, we could not fail to wonder, wherefore do you wish to obtain vessels of flesh, and thence to vanish? Will you not favor us with an explanation? Your flesh and blood beings are always so hasty. It does have its charm, however. Very well, we shall indulge you. In the beginning, when the Ea yet possessed corporeal bodies, our ancestors dedicated themselves to the pursuit of knowledge and technological advancement. By transcending all limitations, we believed we would eliminate sorrow and abide in true happiness. From the tangible such as land to the intangible such as labor, where exists myriad hindrances to progress, but the most confining of all was the flesh itself. Our natural lifespan was distressingly middling, you see. Too short to enjoy unhurried lives, yet too long to be considered disposable. Furthermore, to simply maintain the integrity of our bodies demanded considerable resources. But we managed to solve this problem. After long years, we discovered how to become non-corporeal entities with everlasting lives, untroubled by the failures of the flesh. Thus changed, we had more time and freedom to continue our scientific pursuits. We went on to make ever greater strides in our quest to transcend all limitations, until we finally decided to challenge the last of them all, the limit of knowledge. That is to say, deciphering the laws of creation. We sought to discover how the universe came into being and explain all extant phenomena, and thence predict the future. If we could but achieve this, we believed we would be free from uncertainty and anxiety. And did you find the answers you sought? Yes, we did. Our efforts revealed to us a fundamental truth. Knowledge of said truth is essential for the continuation of our conversation. If you would learn more, we will share it with you. No, we mustn't. Primitive as they are, it would be unspeakably cruel to deprive them of their ignorance. They are possessed of corporeal forms, their lives readily ended. As those who have gone before, is it not our duty to warn them? What thinkest thou? We've deliberated and come to a consensus. If you are resolved to know it, we will disclose to you the truth we discovered, the truth of the universe. Seek us at the stone pillars just outside the bounds of the abode, a place called Elegia. Elegia? Elegia. Alright, ladies and gents, that one went on a little longer than I intended. Let's take a break and we'll come back and play some Minecraft 14.